feel so anxious just talking about it. Anise had the bright idea that we should leave an hour and a half early to make our flight, in case there were any delays. And there's typically a lot of traffic coming from Manhattan through Brooklyn and into LaGuardia. So that was pretty smart of her. So it was a 2 o'clock flight, and we left at 12:30, thank God, because Anise, had that brilliant idea to leave super early. It took us about 30 minutes to get over to the airport, which we got there at around 1-ish. And so, we go through security, and then we are going to go up to the gate. And before you get there, there's kind of some checkpoint that you have to show your boarding pass. And so I pull out my iPhone, and I show the guy my boarding pass, which he then looks at me confused. And he says, "So do you have like a connecting flight or something?" And I of course respond, "No, I'm just flying straight to Houston. There's no layovers that I know unless you know something I don't." So he proceeds to hand me my phone and passport back, and he says, "Well then, sir, I think you're at the wrong airport."
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
And so at that point, I grab my phone and I look really confused, and I'm like, no way. And for the first time during the whole trip, I actually take a look at our departure boarding pass, and it very clearly says that we were to go to the Newark airport, which is across Manhattan Island. So of course, I'm panicking inside already as soon as he says that. I look back at Anise and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I brought us to the wrong airport. If you do some simple math, it took us 30 minutes to get from Manhattan to LaGuardia. That's 30 minutes, so on the way back, that's another 30. And another 30 to get across to where Newark is. So in my head, we had already missed a flight, which honestly, I was just like, I need to go back to work tomorrow. This is not gonna be a good thing. So I pull up Uber and I do the little calculation thing where you can see how much time it's gonna take to get across to the other airport. And I mean, there's no way. It says it's gonna take 2 hours or something like that, which is just ridiculous. So we go and we ask a flight salesperson thing. So they tell us that there's actually a shuttle service that takes pilots and airline workers to other airports, and that we can purchase private tickets for that to get on the shuttle and go over to the airport. And so of course, we run down there and we ask at this little booth, which actually took a little bit of effort to find. But once we found it, we asked, and they were like, yep, $75 to get you across Manhattan, within I think 45 minutes, they said, which would only give us 15 minutes to get through security and all that stuff. So I was still kind of panicking. Another part I didn't mention is that the Uber ride from Manhattan to LaGuardia was about $30, which is honestly not a lot, but it's really an expensive Uber if you're comparing it to just riding around the city. So I proceed to pay, and she's like, oh no sir, it's $75 per person. And so I'm like, what? This is a $150 mistake already, right? Well actually, if you consider the Uber ride, that's almost $180. And so I feel stupid, obviously, but what are you gonna do? We need to catch our flight. So we pay up and we get on the shuttle. And of course, the whole ride there, Anise is just shaking her head at me, and I'm just feeling guilty, super guilty, because it was a simple mistake, but it cost us $200 to correct, just because I didn't take a look at the freaking boarding pass. So at any rate, I learned from then on to every time check my boarding pass. We're the last ones to get off the plane, but